It's me. Well, uh, with how things have been going on in my life, I decided I kind of needed a break from my channel for a little bit. But now things are a bit calm for me right now. I realized that I haven't posted a video for the past few weeks, and I'm sorry. I've been meaning to uh, at least post a few videos, but I mean, like I said, with how things have been going for me, I just kind of needed a break. So, yeah, now that I've gotten that off my chest, let's get on with the review. Black Widow was directed by Shortland and stars Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff in her first ever solo film, and I'd say it's about damn time that Black Widow got her own solo movie, because ever since Iron Man 2, I remember seeing that in theaters, seeing that one scene where she's kicking tons of ass near the climax, and I'm like, when is she gonna get her movie? I mean, I definitely would want to see a Black Widow movie. I mean, I saw that back. I saw Iron Man 2 back in 2010 when I was 12. I saw that with my dad, and I was he thought the same thing. I was like, yeah, I do want to see a Black Widow movie. And since then, Black Widow has always been an important character to the MCU, so it felt necessary for her to have her own solo movie, but I was kind of surprised how long it took for us to eventually get a Black Widow movie. But here we are now. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, honestly, I thought it was good, and I'm about to go over it right now. So after the events of Captain America Civil War, Natasha Romanoff is now a fugitive on the run for violating the Sokovia Accords. But eventually she is forced to confront dark forces that are tied to her dark past. This is one of the few films that I've been waiting to see for a while, and it's one that has been repeatedly pushed back because of the pandemic, and I was like, these delays keep pissing me off. So after seeing it, I was like, okay, I just really hope that this is good. I saw this in IMAX, and I mean, the sound, I mean, it's amazing in IMAX, and I'm perfectly fine. I like seeing big blockbuster movies in IMAX. It's the best experience to watch a blockbuster on the big screen. So, mostly its biggest strength when it comes to Black Widow, when it comes to its biggest strength, it's its performances, as well as some of its action sequences. Well, mostly in terms of performances, I still think Scarlett Johansson is amazing as always, as she is as Natasha Romanoff / Black Widow, and she is just as amazing as she is in most of the MCU movies. And seeing what her past was like, I mean, we get to see flashbacks of her childhood, and there are moments where I actually felt sorry for her. And Florence Pugh, who plays as her sister figure of Yelena, I hope I said that right, she was also amazing, and her and Johansson have excellent chemistry together, and I really hope to see more of Florence Pugh in the MCU in the future, because she is incredible. David Harbour, I say, is pretty much a scene stealer in almost every scene that he is in. He's perfect for comic relief as the Red Guardian, who is, in this movie, supposed to be the Russian counterpart to Captain America. And there's one, I mean, although there's one minor issue that I have in one scene that involves this character that I'll get to later in the video. And Rachel Weisz as Melina, I thought she was also pretty good. My only issue is that we only see her in the flashbacks during the first act, and she doesn't really appear again until halfway in the movie. But what they managed to do with her, I'm okay with what I can get. But still, like I said, David Harbour and Rachel Weisz, I mean, they're great. Ray Winstone as Dreykov, I thought was a pretty intimidating villain, and when it comes to Taskmaster, who is a complete badass, what they managed to do with these characters, I'm okay with it. When it comes to the twist with Taskmaster, I don't want to give anything away because it's a major spoiler. I did not see that coming, and I remember seeing this, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. But still, the villains are great, and they're intimidating. I mean, especially Taskmaster. I mean, I mean, Taskmaster is a complete badass. Uh, I'm like, okay, I mean, we still have MCU villains that don't suck. I mean, the best villains that we've had, I mean, in regards to MCU movies, I mean, we've had Loki, I mean, who is great. Uh, we had Ego in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We had Vulture in Spider Man Homecoming. We had Hela in Thor Ragnarok. Killmonger in Black Panther. And of course, the big one, Thanos. So, yeah. I would say that Dreykov and Taskmaster fit pretty well in that category of good MCU villains, and I hope we get more in the future. Hell, if you want to count Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio in Spider-Man: Far From Home, I would add him to that list too. So, well, enough of that. I just wanted to give my honest opinion about that. The action sequences, for the most part, I thought were pretty good, and I like the action sequences that are done in camera, and of course, I mean, there's some bits in the finale where, I mean, you can clearly tell that they were using like blue screen or green screen. It's just like, okay, yeah, and there were quite a bit of stunt doubles that I mean, that you can notice in like some scenes, but still, I thought, I mean, with the action sequences, it made the movie entertaining. Now, I do have some issues with the movie. I would say that the first act does take a bit too long for things to actually happen. We get like a flashback of Natasha and Elena when they were kids, and what they were doing with their adopted parents, who were played by David Harbour and Rachel Weisz. Then they go to Cuba, and then they are taken to the Red Room to be trained as highly trained killing machines. Now, when it comes to, I would have wanted to see more flashbacks of Natasha and Elena's time in the Red Room. That way, it would have made the story a little bit more interesting. And when it comes to that one moment with David Harbour, which I had said I would get to later, this is what I'll be talking about. We first see David Harbour's character in the flashbacks, and we didn't see him again until like almost an hour into the movie. And he's in prison, and he's arm wrestling like dozens of guys while getting a back tattoo at the same time. If you're arm wrestling like several different guys while getting a back tattoo at the same time, it's gonna look like some kid drawing on the back of your. It's gonna look like a kid drawing on your back, and it's gonna look like shit. I mean, I can't believe that nobody caught that. Honestly, I think this should have been better if it was a Phase 3 movie in the MCU. I'm glad that we did get a Black Widow movie. I'm just surprised how long it took for us to get a Black Widow movie. And honestly, this movie should have been made years ago. And honestly, I mean, I know this sounds like a nitpick, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion. But overall, I don't really have much complaints. I thought the movie was good. I mean, I mostly love the performances as well as some action sequences, but a few nitpicks here and there. So, if you want to see a good MCU movie, if you're in the mood for an MCU movie, I'd say give it a watch. I'm gonna give Black Widow a B+. So what did you think of Black Widow? Let me know in the comment section below, and it's good to be talking about movies again after my little short break. So, guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I'm looking forward to doing more videos really soon, and I plan to post 2 videos as part of a little tribute for Richard Donner, who unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago. I meant to do that, but I mean, I've been so stressed out with how things have been going on in my life, so I really needed a break. So I'm sorry to delay that. So I'll be getting on those pretty soon, I promise you. So, guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I'm looking forward to doing more videos really soon. And if you want my thoughts on old or new movies, of course, you know where to find me.